Yeah, man, the Bible says, Psalm number 27, the verse number 3. Jah is in control.
Young Trill on the beat.
Though an host may encamp against me, God is in control. I shall not fear, for God is in control. Oh, Lord. Hear me now. Many are the afflictions of the righteous. Deliverance is coming. How long now? Weeping may endure for a night, but in the morning, joy is coming. Joy like a river. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I hear the sound. I will rise up. Help me say, whom Jah bless, no man can curse. So I will rise up. I hear the sound. I will rise. Yeah. I hear the sound. I am not alone. God is in control. I hear the sound. God is in control. Yeah. My enemies, for when I fall down 7 times, 7 times I will rise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord is my light and my salvation. I, whom shall I fear? Oh, 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 you are in control. You are in control. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. You got the whole world in your hands, Lord. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I will rise up. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yes. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. I am not alone. God is in control. God is in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Yeah. Whom Jah bless, no man can curse. I will rise up. I will rise up. Hey, whom God bless, no man can curse. So I will rise up. Say, I will rise up. Hey, oh, oh, oh. You are in control. You are in control. Hey. No man can curse. I will rise up.
I will rise up, I will rise up.
Whom Jah bless, no man can curse.
Young Trill on the beat.
There is no one like you. Welcome, Jesus. With this sound of worship, hallelujah.
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 Great I am, we bow down. We fall down at your feet.
All right. Welcome back. It's nice to be back on the studio with you tonight. This is yours truly, Pastor Kwame, and the program, as usual, is Night Talk. All right. So I hope I didn't scare you away last week when I got into a lot of intensive Black Lives Matter content and Black American struggle in America and all of that. I hope you learned a thing or two. All right, so we're going to go back to the schedule. We're going to go back to the plan. We're going to go back to what I'm here to do, which is family life, real life challenges and issues. And today I'm going to have something special for you. We're going to talk about more definitions of marriage. So from my book, The 50 Definitions of Marriage. All right, I have something special for you also. So stick with me. I'm going to announce something very special. You don't want to miss it. If you were married, you are a young person within the age of 25 to about 40-ish, this is for you. I have something special for you, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to talk about 5 more definitions of marriage that we're going to discuss. We're going to take tables and talk about it. All right, so it's going to be very educational. It's going to be informative. So share the link and connect with us, and let's have a good time discussing the thing called marriage. All right, I'll be right back.
Away, away, away. You are God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Angels sing, the elders bow down. Glory and honor belongs to God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We raise our hands and say, there is no God like our God. Say,
back to Night Talk. This is your boy, Pastor Kwame. It's always good to be with you here. I know that we are all in the same COVID-19 recovery stage, and things are not very easy. But I want you to know that do the best you can. It's not your fault, So do the best you can and stay safe and keep on making people more important than any other thing, because that is what this time calls for. All right, so if you are happy and you are ready for us to talk about more definitions of marriage, then let's get to it. I'm going to talk about more definitions of marriage. For those of you that are not aware of this ongoing conversation, you could try and see if you can I'm not sure how you could go back into some of our episode, but reach out to the station and they might hook you up and give you a recorded version of what we have talked about. But I'm going to talk to you about more definitions of marriage. So let's kick start. Another definition of marriage goes like this. Marriage, no, I can't do that right now. Give me a minute, all right? So that's too hot. We'll come back to it, but that will be my last definition. So let's do this one. Marriage is like a mathematical problem. Working with whole numbers is easier than fractions and decimals. Oh my God. I have to explain what this is, because this is too scientific. This is too mathematical. But you're going to understand very soon. Marriage is like mathematical problem. Working with whole numbers is easier than fractions and decimals. All right, so what in the world does this mean? That's the first word we're going to talk about. So marriage is like a mathematical problem working with whole numbers. So pretty much 1 plus 1 is 2. But when I tell you what is 1 plus, let me say it again. 1 plus 1 is 2. It's easy to solve it. But what I say, what is 0.97 plus 0.34? That's a whole different thing. But mind you, 1 plus 1 equal to 2. But 0.34 plus 0.9, it might not be even equal to 2, but it's also complicated. All right. So what does that mean? That's what the first I want to talk about. So when we say that marriage is like math, a whole numbers is easier than fraction, it means that God initially created man to be one complete. Do you understand? And so the problem with marriage is that if somebody comes into a marriage and they are not complete, they make the marriage very difficult. So what I mean by fraction or decimals is that you cannot be able to be helpful in marriage when you come in the marriage broken, when you are emotionally not whole. So the word is wholeness. So I will talk today, I will discuss on this point what it means to be a whole man and a whole woman. So it takes a complete man and a complete woman to make marriage happen. If the man is incomplete, if the woman is incomplete, they can't make marriage happen. They'll come as fractions. We want you to come as $1, not 95 cents, not 75 cents. We want each of you to come as $1 in the marriage and then bring $2 out of it. But when one of you is broken emotionally, when one of you is broken psychologically, when one of you is broken mentally before you come in, that means you didn't come complete. And you're going to make the marriage very difficult. So that's what we're going to talk about. So before I go to the definition number 2, I want to talk about what does it mean for you to be a complete woman, and what does it mean to be a complete man. So it takes a complete man and a complete woman to be married. Without that, you are dealing with fractions, and it's going to be a whole mess, because you came not complete in yourself. She came not complete in herself. And when the two of you come together, it's a mess. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, so definition number 1 says that marriage is like mathematics. Working with whole numbers is much easier than decimal fractions. You understand? So you don't want to come fractured. You don't want to come broken. You want to come complete, healthy. All right, so let's go. I'm going to start with a man. All right, so a man is said to be complete. A man is said to be complete when that man, number 1, is able to control his sexual desires. You feel me? Any man that cannot control his sexual desires is not complete. So, to understand complete, it means that when you keep it there, it won't go bad. Do you understand? Something is complete when you keep it by itself, it won't go bad. You understand? So a man who cannot stay by himself without sexual problem is not complete. That's the first one. So number one, a man is complete when he is sexually able to control himself. Do you understand that? So if he comes into the marriage and he can't control himself sexually, he cannot be a good husband, because marriage does not cure fornication. Marriage does not cure adultery. Marriage does not cure it, because it is a problem. So that is what I want you to understand. Marriage does not cure sexual problems. So if you have a sexual problem as a man, marriage cannot help you. It's very important that you understand that. Marriage cannot help you if you have a sexual problem. All right. So that is a key thing to understand. All right. Another thing about a complete man or a complete man who is going to get married is a man that is also in a way financially stable. You understand? Financially stable is also a sign of completeness. Financially stable, that means that I am stable enough that you can depend on me financially to go forward. You understand? So the fact that he has sexual control is one thing. The fact that he's financially stable is another thing. And another thing for the man is that the man must be whole emotionally. Some men are mommy's boys. They are not whole. They can't make decisions on their own. They cannot do things on their own. And because of that, it causes a lot of problems. So you want a man who can make decisions on their own. You understand? You don't want a man who cannot make decisions on their own. You want a man who can make decisions on their own. That is a sign of a complete man. Do you understand that? They don't call their mom, they don't call their dad. They can make decisions. That means that the man is complete. He knows how to. So here is, I'll go to the women very soon, but here is the definition of a complete man. So what it means is that when he is living by himself, he can do things on his own. You understand that? And that means that he's complete emotionally, financially, and he's also complete as in sexually. He can control himself. So there's more about a complete man with vision and purpose and all of that. But let me go to the woman now. So a man must come in the marriage whole, nothing broken, nothing missing, right? The same way, the woman must come into the marriage complete, right? The woman must come into the marriage. Number one, the woman must come into the marriage not needy. You understand that? The woman must come into the marriage not needy. Now, most women come into the marriage too needy. In other words, they are not complete as in here's the first thing I want to say. When you go into a marriage and you can't carry your own self, you will destroy the marriage. Because a time will come that your husband cannot carry you emotionally. Your husband cannot carry you physically. Your husband cannot carry you financially. And you must be able to be a person that can carry yourself. You understand? You must be able to be a person that can carry yourself. So if you cannot carry yourself, you're going to cause a lot of problem in the marriage. You have to know how to carry yourself. It's very important and significant. Knowing how to carry yourself. You understand that? It's massively important. Knowing how to carry yourself. And I believe that is something that we must all practice as people so that you might be complete. Alright, so emotionally, psychologically, the woman must be able to carry herself. Now let me be practical with the women. So what it means is that if you are coming into the marriage and you have some emotional problems, like everything, like emotional meltdown, due to past hurts and all of the inner instability, strong mood swing, and all of that. It means that you are sick emotionally and you are not whole and you cannot be married. Oh my God, it's too sensitive. Little things makes you, what I'm trying to say. When you have that, you can't marry because you can't even forgive and all of that. That is not how you're going to make it in marriage. You need to be able to be whole. Let me tell you, a woman who is not whole. A woman is not whole, as in complete, when a joke gives her sleepless night. You are so insecure that a joke gives you sleepless night. You are not complete. So you must come in secure. You must come in complete. You must be able to joke. You must come into the marriage complete, lacking nothing. You don't need the man to make you feel complete. You're already complete. You need the man in your life to do what you have to do, but you have to come to the marriage already complete in yourself. I am a woman who is complete, and I love this man with all my heart, but without this man, I'm still complete. Do you understand that? I know how to control myself, and I know how to let myself go. That means you are complete. You are not insecure. You are not trying to validate yourself. You know who you are, and then it means you are complete. And that is the first definition. Marriage is like mathematics. You must add whole numbers. You must be whole. You understand? You need the marriage to go to the next level. But without the marriage, you stay at your level and do what you have to do. So that's the first definition of marriage. Marriage is like adding mathematics. When you are incomplete in yourself, you make the math very, very difficult. I'll be right back to talk about the second definition of marriage for today.
Run it.
You my heart, my mind will change, my desire, and my whole life. I need your rain, healing rain, fall on me, and heal my heart. My mind will change, my desire, and my whole life. Need your rain, just open the heavens, and heal my heart, say. My mind will change, my whole life. I'm asking for your rain. One more time, let it rain, say. Heal my heart, say. My mind will change, my desire, God, I'm asking for, that you will let it rain, that you will run the heavens and pour down your love rain. Send the rain. Let it rain. Let it rain. Healing rain, fall on me. Heal my heart, Lord. My mind will change, my desire, and my whole life. Asking for your rain. change. My desire in my whole life. I need your rain. Lift up your voice and say, Father fall, and heal my heart. Say, transform my mind. Say, my desire in my whole life. I'm asking for your rain. Say, healing rain. Lord, fall on me and heal my heart. Say, transform my mind, my desire. Say, my whole life. I'm asking for your rain. Transform my mind, my desire, and my whole life. I'm asking for your rain. Lord, let the rain say. Lord, let the rain say. I'm asking for your rain. Let it rain, let it rain. Let it rain, let it rain.
All right, welcome back. So we talked about marriage is math, you have to come in whole. Definition for the day number 2. Marriage is like Facebook. You cannot share much if you are not friends. Marriage is like Facebook. You cannot share much if you are not friends. This is a secret to marriage. This is a secret to marriage. All right, so let's talk now. So marriage is 80% friendship, 20% something else. Marriage is 80% friendship, 20% something else, right? The bulk of the marriage is friendship. The problem is that it is very difficult to marry your friend because sexual tension is needed for the first phase. Attraction, sexual attention, and kind of shyness of each other is needed to kind of kickstart the marriage, right? So most of the time, if somebody becomes your close friend, you don't feel comfortable marrying them. You want somebody you don't know, so that there's a little mystery to the whole thing, right? I understand all of that, but the point is, once you get into the marriage, if the two of you are not friends, the marriage will not work. You understand? If the two of you are not friends, the marriage will not work. So you realize that you will struggle and struggle until you give up on each other and you start becoming friends. So on Facebook, you can only share things if you are a friend of somebody. You can't go visit. There's limited things. Somebody can share something about somebody who's not your friend, but when you want to follow the friend, it doesn't work. If they block their content, you have to be a friend to be able to see them. Do you understand that? And marriage is so important that if you are not a friend of the person, it will not work. Because you're going to spend all your life with this person, and if you are not friends, the first problem is that you're going to start talking to your real friends about your marriage. Do you understand? So, if you two are not friends, what ends up happening is that your husband is going to talk to their friend outside about you, and you are going to talk to your friend outside about your husband. So the two of you are just playing a game, and your real friends are outside the marriage, either cheering you on or giving you bad advice. So the whole idea is that you want to, and here's what it is. If the two of you have a good heart, right? If you have a good heart and your wife has a good heart, and you start not as friends, you will fight and fight and fight, and then at some point you will give up and start being friends. You have to be the friend of your husband. You have to be the friend of your wife. If you just become the wife and the husband, the marriage will not work. Because let me tell you a few things that friendship brings. Friendship brings transparency. Friendship, that is why there are certain things you have told your friend, but you have not told your husband. Some of your friends know certain things you have done that your husband doesn't know. You understand? Some of your guy friends know things you have done that your wife doesn't know. It's like the brotherhood. You understand that? So if your wife is not your friend, and so friendship has elements, friendship is a beautiful thing. Friendship is what God called Abraham. I am your friend. He says, I no longer call you anything. I call you friend, because friendship is the highest form of relationship. Because friendship is a relationship that is based on being true to each other. Friendship is a powerful relationship. So if your wife is your friend, if your husband is your friend, your marriage will last forever. But if you are not friends, so that you have to, and let me tell you this. Listen to me. If you are not married, listen to me. Today, a long time ago, women were not looking for friends when they were going to get married. In the olden, if you talk about 60 years ago, women did not marry for friendship. They married for security. They married for children. They married to find a home. You understand? Many years ago, that was the reason women were getting married. They didn't care about their happiness. That's why you will see a 27-year-old girl following a 48-year-old man as my daddy, my husband. Because women were going into marriage primarily so they can have a home to raise kids and also have a kind of like a covering. So because without that, they felt that their life is not complete. But in 2020, no woman wants to marry for shelter, wants to marry for kids. Even that one is a different issue. They only want to marry for friendship. They want a guy they can go out with. They want a guy they can take selfie with. They want a guy they can laugh with. They want a guy they can play with. They want a guy they can joke with. They want to have a fun, sexual, happy, everything with you. They have their own money and they are willing to spend it together. So if you are not in to become their friend, you can't get them. So these days, it's very difficult to find a girl who wants to marry a sugar daddy unless the sugar is very sweet. Where there's a lot of money involved. Do you understand that? So friendship is the key to marriage. If you are not friends, because here's the thing, when you are friends, you fight but you come back together. If you are not friends, you fight and you never come back. Friendship is just a beautiful thing. So definition number 2. Marriage is like Facebook. If you are not friends, you can't share much. Let me give you another secret. Marriage is difficult. When friends go into business, sometimes it gets so painful, it spoils the friendship. So even if you are friends, the marriage will test the friendship. How much more if you are not friends? Marriage is so difficult that it can separate friends. So even if friends cannot survive, then those who are not friends, they won't survive at all. Because when you go into the marriage, you get to see the true character of each other. You get to see the true nature of each other. So if you are not friends where you can sort your difference out and you like each other naturally as friends, then mind you, the relationship will suffer a lot. So marriage is like Facebook. If you're not, so you have to be friends. And this is the challenge. Sometimes, you see, when you have a friend, you share a lot of things in common that makes you friends. Because usually you make friends at places that you go. You know what I'm saying? So you go to school and you find a friend. So your friend is your schoolmate. So life is kind of dishing you the same thing, because at school you guys learn the same thing and you become friends based on that, right? So, but when it comes to marriage, you probably were not friends. But so when you come together, there might be a lot of differences, but you have to work it and become your friend. Let me say it like this: when you marry somebody, you have no choice, but you have to be a friend to that person. You have to listen to that person. You have to do what they like. You have to go out to do what she likes. You have to go out to do what he likes. You have to be intentionally become friends with them. You know, if I had not traveled to America, I wouldn't know that a mom can be a friend to the daughter. You know, I didn't know that. If I have not traveled to America, I wouldn't know that fathers can be friends to their kids. Growing up in Africa, I didn't know that. My father was not my friend. My sister was not my friend to my mom. You are a mom and you are the daughter. There's no nonsense about friends, blah, blah, blah. Right? But I realized that here in America, people can do that. So that means that you can decide to be a friend to your husband. You can decide to be friend. So let me give you what friends do. Of course you know, but number one, you have to kind of visit each other. Friends, so you can be in a marriage and you have not visited each other. To visit each other means to take time for each other. That's what friends do. Number two, what friends do that friends listen to each other. You know, friends listen to each other. And men have to learn to listen to their wives. Because when you listen to your wife, that's what friends do. All her girlfriends, they listen to each other. They don't know where the conversation is going. They start and it goes wherever it goes. So you have to listen to each other. And lastly, you have to play with each other. Friends play together. So you have to play with each other. And you have to let the friendship work. Sometimes the marriage is not working, but let the friendship work. You understand? You find yourself married to a person that, for some reason, even after the marriage doesn't work, the friendship still works. Because you built some solid friendship. Friends laugh at each other. Friends laugh with each other. Good friends are always there for each other. Good friends protect each other. Try that in your marriage and see how happy you will be. Friends tell friends how things are going. Friends fight. Friends get back together. So, number two, your marriage will not work if you're not friends. You have to be friends. Buy each other gift. Plan some outing with your friends. Hang out with your friends. Advise your friends. When you find something nice, tell your friends. Recommend you see what I'm saying? So just be your partner's friend. The first thing that goes away after marriage is talking to each other. Before marriage, you talk and talk and talk and talk. After marriage, you don't talk, you don't talk, you don't talk, you don't talk. I said a joke that a person has called a wife when the conversation lasted for 2 minutes or less. But a person has called a friend when they talk and talk and talk for about 30 minutes. If you can talk to your wife over the phone for 30 minutes, you have a good marriage. If you can talk to your wife over 30 minutes, you have a good marriage. The sign that you have a good marriage is when you are away from each other and the two of you can talk over the phone for 30 minutes. That means that you have built friendship to a point that you guys still talk. You have not allowed the tension and the stress of the marriage to stop you from talking. You have not allowed the character flaw of each other to stop you from talking. You guys still talk and express yourselves and tell each other how you feel about everything. That is very important, that you learn how to talk to one another. It's critical, super important. All right, so that's the point number 2. We're going to go to the other side of the program. I will be back to do definition number 3. But put your questions across and let's take chat. I'm still dealing with the 50 definition, but today we're going to talk about 4 or 5 definition. Definition number 1, you got to be whole to be in marriage. Definition number 2, you have to be a friend to enjoy marriage. You have to be a friend of your wife. A friend, a friend, a friend, a friend. If you don't know how to be a friend, you have to work on it, because the secret to every happy marriage is friendship. All right, let's go.
Oh Lord, I'm grateful.
Young Trill on the beat.
My love, my pride. 1, 2, go. You are good, you are good, you are good. Nobody can deny. You are good, you are good, you are good. Nobody can deny. Nobody can do me like you do. Nobody.